Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me today. So if you caught my video earlier, then you'll know the Sort It Out Saturday challenge has now started. This is a personal challenge for myself where I'm decluttering, organising, destashing, just generally having a good old sort out in my craft room, almost like a spring clean of the craft room, if you like. Anywho, so I was working on my box of fabrics earlier, and I found some fabrics that I thought would really make really lovely fabric flips. So I've just picked out 3 of the fabrics, and I thought we would have a go at mass making some. So I've got my fabrics, I've got my pins, and I've got, I don't know if you can see those, lots and lots of laces, crochets, fabrics, different things here, which we can use. And I'm just going to get them pinned up. I'll go off and do the stitching, and then that will be some very quick fabric flips done. So I'm just going to go one at a time because as this is a mass make, I just want to keep it nice and easy, and you know, just go with the fabrics one at a time really. So I've got these, which are a vintage upholstery. Now this is a very autumnal type of material, I guess. Now, can we get all 4 in screen? Let's just see. So, how's that? Okay, I think you can see all those. So with these ones, normally I use lace at the top. So I keep my fabric flips really, really simple, especially when you're using fabrics that you really love. And I love these. They're sort of a, I suppose, feathers and leaves type of a print. And I definitely don't want to lose all of that. I'm just trying to decide which way they should go. And of course, I've already ripped down the fabrics to size. So with these ones, I want to focus on more natural colours and fabrics. And I'm thinking I will use crochet for these ones. Now I actually only have 2 types of crochet, because I use lace more than anything. So I'm going to get those out. Oh no, I found another one. I've got 3 types of crochet, and I've also got some of this, which, I don't know, I might use. We'll see. So what do we think? Okay, so again, I'm sort of just trying to work with the, yeah, I like that there. So that's just, oops, cut that one down to size, and of course I'm keeping all my scraps. They will definitely come in handy. So I might need to do a little bit more chopping, but when I'm happy, I'm just going to go ahead and pin them. So yeah, if you're not sure what a fabric flip is, if this concept is new to you, then I'm just going to cut the bottom of this so it's not quite so straight. I want it to be a little bit more like so. A little bit more rustic. There you go, that's better. So if you're not sure what a fabric flip is, I use these for plain writing pages. So, you know, if you've got like a tea dyed or coffee dyed type of a paper, and you're, you know, it's not very interesting to look at inside your journal, then that's where a fabric flip can just bring in a little bit of colour and excitement and interest into your journal. And the best bit is that you can hide things underneath. So, you know, we all love secret journaling, but you could also pop a pocket underneath, or a tuck spot or a belly band or something like that, for someone to lift up to find. So if you imagine this is your page, you lift this up and think about all of this hidden space underneath. So yeah, and I like to keep my fabric flips really simple, because I don't think they need to be anything particularly, you know, the fabric is going to do the talking. So, you know, I don't think they need to be, you know, it doesn't need to be some fabulous masterpiece. Just go with simple. So I let the fabric do the talking, and I will always put either lace or crochet or something along the top edge. Sometimes I will include other fabrics if I feel that it's necessary. So at the moment I'm pinning all these down, but I might add some thinner pieces shortly, but for now I'm pretty happy with those, so try and keep them in view for you as best I can. Now this one, I don't want to cover up too much of the leaf at the top because it's got a really nice gold on it, but I'm going to see how, right, I'm going to move these ones out of the way, just let my brain have a break from everything on my desk. So if we, I know I'm covering it up, but I'm just going to see how this would look over the top, because this has got leaves on it, and you can still see the leaves through this, and it's almost like a fabric flip and then a fabric flip. So let me just see how this would look. And I don't like my fabric flips to be bulky because, you know, it's unnecessary bulk. So, you know, I try very hard not to put too many layers on, but enough that it's, you know, enough that it's interesting and we've got texture on there and all of that. So this one would be, you would lift this up and then see the feathers underneath if we did it like that. Let me just see. Just going to cut this down so it's even narrower. Yeah, let's go for that. Now I'm just cutting these roughly, and then, you know, I'll trim them up properly when I come ready to sew. So I will be stitching these with my sewing machine, but you don't need a sewing machine for these. You could hand stitch them, you could even glue them, you know, if you've got, just use a, you know, a fabric glue. I think that's supposed to go that way. Oh yeah. I love fabric flips. They're so easy, and yeah, if you've just got a really nice fabric that maybe you've got too small a piece where you can't make a cover out of it, but you want to make a feature out of it, then a fabric flip could be the way to go. So this one would be, you'd lift this up, then you'd lift this piece up. And you can still see all those pretty feathers through that. So that one I'm happy with. That one's ready for stitching. These few, I just want to double check how I feel about these. This one, yes, I think so. I'm just wondering if we need like a band of something along the top there. I'm just going to see how that would look. Yeah, I quite like that. It's just because it's quite a wide band at the top, and I like that for this one, but I feel like this would just give it a little bit more interest. And what I might end up doing, once I've done the stitching, I might actually think about embellishing these with something in the middle. I think that could look really, really nice. I don't normally do that, but I'm thinking if this had an embellishment right there. So that one's ready for stitching. Should we do the same thing on these? I have got some more of this. Use up my scraps whilst I've got them on my desk. Let's just see. That one's obviously not quite as wide a band, so it might not need it, but we'll just see what we think. No, that one doesn't need it, I think, because it's narrower in size, so not needed there. We'll just have a look at this one. Yeah, I think for this one I will. So I'm just pinning them, and then obviously I'll go off and do the sewing. And then I'll have all these ready to go, so when I'm ready to use them in my journals, then obviously we can just glue them straight down onto the page with some Fabri-Tac. That's what I'll do. So yeah, I will go off and stitch that one as well. So that's 4. Let's do some of these green ones. So these ones have got a really nice, they're from the same fabric, but obviously that fabric was very eclectic, so they've all got a very different type of a look. So I've got some green, olive green, and I've got some black lace that has some greenery on it. Got some blue lace. Just basically pulling out colours that I think might work for these. I've also got some white and creamy laces here, so we'll just have a little look what we think. Maybe. What's that one? Yeah, this black lace has got some green sparkly threads running through it. You see? And I don't really use black, but I thought maybe it would be interesting. So I'm just going to see how the blue looks before I cut anything, because I do change my mind. Right, I like the blue on there. But I don't want a huge piece, so, or do I? That obviously covers up the flower, the plant. Yeah, I don't want it quite so wide, so I'm going to cut this one in half, and then I add something else. As I say, these don't really need much thought at all. They come together pretty quickly, and really you're just, you know, yeah, just popping pieces down, and then of course getting lots of nice little scraps to make clusters with, or whatever you like really. So those definitely need something else, but I like the blue on there because it picks out the blue here. So I'm done with the blue. Oh, I've got a piece of lace here. I just spotted that. Let's see. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? That just finishes that off. So I might have to get out some more thin laces because I'm actually quite liking that. Don't know if that has a particular way. Now, do we want it the full width or a bit? Yeah, the full width. I'm just gonna. I thought I was gonna cut the border off, but no. Covering up my pins. There we go. Yeah, sorry if I seem a bit quiet today. Sort of, I don't know, it's quite rainy today, so I'm not full of energy today, but I thought we could just do this little task, and yeah, that one's ready for stitching. So as I say, I don't add much to these really. I just kind of, yeah, just go with what we've got. So the black might work. I've also got this olive. Can't decide which one I prefer. Kind of liked the dramaticness of the black actually, and I don't really use black, but I think it's because it's got the green on it. I don't mind it. No particular way. I think it's supposed to go that way. Sort of, right, let's move those pins, those are totally in the way. Just trying to decide. Yeah, quite like that. Right, let's chop that. This can also be a good way to use up your fabric scraps. I've obviously pulled out larger pieces just because I'm planning on doing obviously quite a few of these. But yeah, you could something like that. Yeah, you could just pull out your fabric scraps, your little pieces that you've got. And if you've got a sewing machine, obviously these will come together very quickly. I'm sure many of you have done these before, but if you haven't, then this might be an interesting idea for you. I love a fabric flip. I love textures in my journals. I love adding different elements of things. So yeah, I'm really big lover of the fabric flip, and I just think it adds interest, and who doesn't love hidden journaling, you know? Right, now that one's got quite a rough edge, and I'm wondering what it would look like if we had something more just to finish off. So I'm just gonna hit pause and grab some smaller, narrower pieces. Okay, and for these two I've just gone with some gold trim on this one with the black lace. This one ready for stitching, and then I've just put some of my boho gold sequin trim across there just to tone down that blue because it was quite bright. So those are ready for stitching. So now we're on to my favourites. This is the curtain fabric. So this came from the top of the curtains. So I've got 3 like this, and then I've got these 2. I think these 2 are purple. Yeah, more purple. So we'll do the pink ones first. Just got to decide which way they should go. There we go. So yeah, these came from the top of the tab top of the curtains. So we'll do these next. Oops. And then yeah, and then I'll do the purple ones because I kind of felt like they were sort of different, I suppose, even though they came from the same curtains. So what have we got? We've got some, I don't want to cover that purple flower really, but this one could do with something wider. Just checking I've got stuff all over my desk, so I'm just making sure I'm not hiding something that would work perfectly. Let's go with this one. This is a really nice vintage lace. My husband's great aunt kindly sent me this, and believe it or not, she's said to me that she'll be sending me some more because she's just not using it. Bless her. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll of course do a little show and tell, show you what comes. Right, so that one, and then I'm just trying to decide if we want anything across the middle. Obviously I don't really want to cover up any flowers. There's always the opportunity as well to put stuff at the bottom of your fabric flips, little tabs or maybe even some trim down the bottom, but we'll sort that out later. For now I'm just going to keep them as simple as I can. Yeah, I'm not very good at mass making, I think. I get caught up on little things, and yeah, so I don't want to cover up those purple flowers because I quite like those. So do I have a thin something? And of course you don't have to add lace to the top or ribbons or anything. You could just stitch this down as is, you know, I mean, or just glue it down. You don't have to have anything. What do we think? I think I'm going to keep that one out because I quite liked that, but what else have I got? Do I have any more crochet? I've got a fluty one. I quite like the difference in tone. Oh yeah, that is a good shout. Or we've also got, this one is a white. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Does it have a way around? I think it's that way. So you can still just see that little flower. And yeah, we might embellish some of these because looking at them, so normally I just have fabric flips as the fabric and the lace, and I don't do much else, but sometimes the pattern calls for it. So this one, I really like it, but you know, if it had a label there or something, it could look really nice. Okay, what about you? We could do the same thing, but that flower is a little bit higher up. But I think either way I'm going to end up covering it. Because I do think the lace just finishes them off, but you don't have to do it. Everyone is different, aren't they? So how I'm doing it, feel free to change it up. Maybe this one would work. Get a piece of this. you've ever seen so much lace in your life, I've just got it absolutely everywhere at the moment. And this is obviously just a few pieces I've pulled out. I didn't grab everything. But, there we go. How's that? Yeah, I think that's fine. As I say, this pattern's quite full on, so I don't think it needs a huge amount. And then I will get these stitched up. So I'll just go straight across wherever the lace or whatever is, you know, just to get it all down in one stitch across. And I normally do a zigzag stitch, just because it's a bit more interesting than a straight stitch for this type of a, you know, ornamental type piece. Okay. Yeah, this is a really good candidate for, yeah, a label or something. And then we've got these, just these last two. So these are more on the purple side of things. What do we think? Again, we've got that purple flower at the top. And this could really do with some embellishment because there's a lot of white space. What have I got? I just really don't want to lose that. What about, how would this look? Would that help? Or I've got this. This comes from some Edwardian wedding dress, which doesn't cover up that purple flower. You still see it, and it eats into some of that just blank white space. Look. Yeah, if we position that, I think that would look really nice. I think it's this way. I'm sorry. All in a tiz with all this lace. Is it that way? I really can't tell with this old lace, you know, which way around it actually is supposed to go. If you've got any tips on knowing which way, then, you know, please, please let me know. So yeah, I'm just trying to, I suppose the pattern is, oh, there we go. If I do that, can you see that flower then comes in the, you know, where the embroidery sort of stops, I suppose. Oh yeah, that would look really nice. So yeah, I definitely think we should embellish these a little bit further. As I said, I don't normally with fabric flips, but there's just something about, especially these more white looking ones, I do think they could do with it. Equally, you could just wait and do that, you know, later on. You know, when you actually come to use them. The main thing about the mass making is just getting them, you know, the fabrics agreed with what you're going to use. And you just get all the stitching done all at the same time. Look. So I'm just rough cutting these because lace has a tendency to slip anyway when you go to stitch them. So when they're actually finished, I'll then cut them down properly. Really nice. Yeah, so I'll do that with the same. I'll just keep it the same. That's the point of mass making, isn't it? You do the same thing. Not the same thing, but you know what I mean. So again, I think it's supposed to be this way. Beautiful. Really beautiful lace. So again, I'm just trying to position that flower, the embroidery just around it. So it's all sort of part of something. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I cut some of this curtains down because I thought, you know, when I bought these curtains, I thought they would make really nice journal covers. Yeah, really nice fabric. But yeah, they make lovely fabric flips as well. And I've got some of the fabric. I'll just see if I can show you. Where is it? Yeah, these ones went, I'll just show you one at a time. These ones went more like the flowers, these purple flowers were more horizontal, and I thought these would make really nice pockets. So I've got a few of those as well. But yeah, that's that's for another day. Today, it's Fabric Flips Day. Gosh, that rain is really coming down now. But spring is on its way, hopefully. Nah, of course it is. What's your plans for spring? I don't do any gardening or anything, but I do love a nice garden. I try with flowers, but I'm just not very green fingered. I like to look at them, but I'm just not very good at actually growing them. So there you go. Okay, that's those. So how many did we make? We got 2 there, 2 purple flowered ones. We've got 1, 2, 3 pink ones. That's 6. Got 9 and 12, I think. Oh no, 13. Oh, unlucky number. Yeah, we got 13 there. Yeah, so we got 4 of those vintage type ones, and we got 3 of these, blue and green, and pink and the purples. All right, perfect. So I'll go off and get these stitched up. As I say, I'll just run across, you know, a zigzag stitch right across the middle. That will all be stitched down, and then if we want to do more embellishments, then we might. So these ones, for example, could really suit a label or something, and you can always add stuff to the bottom. So we'll have a look at that once we've got all these stitched up. So I'll be back in 2 seconds for you. Okay, I'm back, and I've got everything stitched up on the sewing machine now, and I've also just gone around and tidied them up a bit. I think some of them still need an iron, but I'll do that later. That doesn't need to come now. To be honest, I think I'm going to leave it there with the video. I did think we were going to do some embellishments, but to be honest, I work best with embellishing objects like this once I've actually got the journal in front of me, so I know exactly what page it's going on. But I just wanted to leave you with some ideas of how you might want to embellish these further if you want to, if you so choose, because really they could just be fine on their own. Sometimes you might want to add extra things depending on, you know, what fabrics you used and what laces you used. But just some ideas, you know, you could add simple buttons like so, just in the middle there, or maybe a row of buttons if you've got, you know, matching ones, or you want to mix and match your colours or something. You could add, you know, here I've got a button and a sentiment, which I think looks quite nice. Can you see that? Just says, oops, just says life of happiness, just there, which, you know, could look quite nice on it. This one I've got a label and a word. You know, you might want to add fussy cuts. This one, for example, has a label and a butterfly on it, which I quite like. But obviously I don't want to stick it on there until I know exactly where this is going, because otherwise, you know, you could end up with butterfly overload on your page. But, you know, I just wanted to show you those because I know sometimes it can be tricky to know exactly how to embellish things. But for the most part, I just really wanted to get these fabric stitched up, fabric flips stitched up. So, you know, we've got 14, I think I made. So, you know, all these can now go in my finished, or, you know, relatively finished ephemera. It just needs embellishing. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if it was a little bit all over the place again, but yeah, I enjoyed making them, and I'm glad they came together quite quickly. I think I spent about, I don't know, another 15-ish minutes at the sewing machine, because at the end of the day I had them all stitched up in the same colour thread. And I just did a zigzag stitch across, which you can't even see because I used a very light coloured thread. But, you know, from there, obviously we can go ahead and embellish these as we see fit. But yes, 14 fabric flips, which means I need to make 14 journals. No, I'm just kidding. I imagine I'll probably, you know, happy mail some of these or something. But anywho, I will leave you there for now. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks ever so much for bearing with me at the moment. I know my schedule is a little bit all over the place and all of that. I'm just trying to fit in a lot of things and, you know, keep on my creative buzz. But I have a plan for, you know, getting myself sorted out. So fingers crossed. Going forwards, you know, my videos and stuff might be a little bit more organised, like they were at the beginning of the year. So anyway, I will leave you there. I'll say goodbye, and I will catch you on the next video. But bye for now.